Pittsburgh. Turn on the radio. Bring it on. Turn it.
Hey, it's Kevin Powell. I'm here. I have a band I'm excited to talk to. These guys are going to be playing at Inkarceration Fest in Mansfield, Ohio. They're going to be playing with huge bands. The list goes on and on and on. Motionless in White, Pantera, Slipknot. I mean, there's a lot of bands. I'm excited to see Varials. They'll be a lot of fun to see. But these guys are going to be playing Saturday. This band, we got Zach, we got Rex. It's Uncured.
We are doing fantastic. Thank you for having us. I'm Zach.
And I'm Rex. And yeah, like you said, we are beyond excited to be playing Inkarceration. It's probably one of the coolest festivals to ever exist, right? In Shawshank Redemption Prison. And like you said, we're playing on the same day as Pantera. So it doesn't get much cooler than that.
Who are some of your favorites that you're looking forward to seeing, side stage or in the audience, or just in general going to see?
Well, we will only be there for that day because we have a busy travel schedule, you know.
Okay.
But we would be watching Motionless in White, but they're actually playing a little bit after we are, so we're going to be still finishing our set and getting our gear off, so we won't be able to see them.
Motionless in White will be the soundtrack to our pack up.
Of course, you know, Pantera, the headliner that day. And I would need to double check the schedule for that day because it all sort of blends together, you know.
Yeah, and the list of bands is kind of ridiculous.
As we're driving out, we're going to sorry, I don't know why I'm choosing right now to eat a Starburst, but as we're driving out, we're gonna probably plan out as many bands as we can possibly see. See if there's any bands that we're friends with there and hang out with them. But festivals are just an amazing time, and it's really cool that we get to count that as working because, you know, it feels like a vacation.
Absolutely. Run me through how you even got on Inkarceration Fest.
So we played Welcome to Rockville a month ago?
Yeah, in May, I think. May.
Yeah, and what tour was that a part of?
We were at the Filter tour.
All right. So yeah, we were on tour with Filter. And sorry, you take this. I'm going to finish this and I'm going to stop.
How much are you eating? Jesus.
It's just very chewy. Sorry, it's very rude.
We were on tour with Filter, and we got booked on Rockville because we work with 33 and West, and then because of that, we put together a tour with Filter, as well as we did some headline dates in all throughout May, ending in early June, and then after we got the Rockville booked, we were one of the first bands on Rockville. But they also booked us on Inkarceration, and we're actually going to be headlining the reformatory stage at 4:30 on Saturday. So we had an early spot at Rockville, but we have a killer king spot at Inc.
Killer king spot. Yeah, we've been playing shows for over 5 years at this point, and I'd say that we definitely have not cut any corners, but it's still a fantastic honor to get to play Inkarceration at all. And then the fact that we are playing last on the reformatory stage is yet another big honor. So we're very excited, very happy to be here.
So some people don't know all the ins and outs when it comes to A, being in a band, and B, playing a big festival like this. So I'm sure you guys have some details that you can share. So you're going to show up Saturday, and then
we'll walk you through it. We usually check in is sometime around 8 or 9 in the morning. So what we'll do is we'll always make sure that we're within an hour of that location the night before, because even if it's 4 or 5 hour drive, you don't want to have to get up at 4 in the morning when you're playing a show at 4 p.m.
Oh yeah,
that makes the day 24 hours. So yeah, we'll usually get there around 8 or 9, wake up, we'll do a check-in, and then there's kind of a couple hours where you don't really have anything to do. That's always the hardest part, because there's no concept of stress or nerves when you're actually preparing to hit the stage, but those kind of couple hours where you're not doing anything feels like time moves much slower.
I'd say that the day of also we're checking out the artist catering. They always have 3 meals. They did at Rockville, so I'm guessing it's going to be similar to that. We'll check out the artist catering. Got to drop off the merch to the merch tent.
Oh, right,
We're
yeah, you
used
do
to
merch.
we're used to selling our own merch, which we love doing. But at big festivals, they sell it. So we already have just like the few things packed up because we only get like 2 soft items and 1 hard. So like we're doing a shirt, shorts, and a baseball hat. That's all packed up, ready to go. We'll drop that off.
Yeah. And then
It's nice just to like walk around and just like see what like all the stages are, just see how it's like looking, the layout, all that.
I always wondered about the merch thing with festivals. And I'm glad you mentioned that because one, I never would have thought to ask that. I always thought bands just had people do their merch and that was it. But yeah, that's cool.
on most of these kind of like conglomerate festivals, everything is done by a third party, usually coordinated by the festival. And no band sells as much merch at festivals as they would at one of their shows because A, there's so much more competition, and B, it's just kind of in like a off location a lot
I
of the
mean,
time.
and everyone's
Yeah.
also if like everyone's going to buy like the official festival shirt. You
Yeah.
know, it's like I would say like if I was a person there, like I'd say at least 75% of the people just want the festival shirt because they're there to see all the bands, and it's like they're less likely to just be like just pick out like a motionless and white shirt as opposed to the Inkarceration shirt.
Doesn't really make a huge difference.
Oh, also, when we were at Rockville walking around, the lines for the official merch were just so long. So it was like, wow, I'm not waiting in line to get nothing.
We'll plan how we're going to do our setup because a lot of times what they'll have you do on festivals is set up on one side of the stage. The other band loads off on the opposite one. So like everything is just kind of going in this rotation where if let's say you're loading onto the left side, everybody loads off on the right. So it's pretty well planned out. And what we'll do is we'll figure out how we can get all of our gear in the right order so that when we bring it onto stage, we're not burying any of the stuff that we need to access first. And I do all of our computer and electronic stuff while the rest of the guys are doing more of the physical stuff and the mics. So basically, as soon as I can get frequencies dialed for in-ears and wireless packs, I'll do that. Sometimes they'll send you frequencies in advance that have already been checked and prepped by the festival.
That's
Not all
cool.
the time. So yeah, either like I'll get the sheet that has the prepped frequencies and just plug that in. I'll do it a day in advance if I can. But if not, then we'll just get there and scan for frequencies, make sure everything is working, and from that point, it's basically just play the show and pack up, make sure you don't lose anything. That's like a big aspect of touring that I feel like nobody really talks about is just so much of your brain power is spent keeping track of things. So that because like it's so easy to lose stuff.
Are either of you guys like me when it comes to shows and you think of like 600 things at once, and then as soon as the set's over, you're like, okay, what do I have to do?
Yep.
Where am I?
Yeah. No, you have like this checklist of everything that you need to do and keep track of, and then once you get that post-show high, or post-show low, depending on what time it is, just all of that gets like flooded out immediately. So yeah, it's just it's good to have a process intact. And at this point, we've played hundreds of shows, so I think we've gotten a lot of the mistakes out of the way, but definitely not all of them.
How long of a set do you guys have?
30 minutes.
Okay, 30 minutes. Any songs that fans can look forward to hearing from you guys at Incarceration Fest?
One Step Closer. I'm gonna be doing a cover of that live, as well as our most recent single, Fight This War, and I guess a lot of the other songs you probably expect us to play.
Okay. Just making sure.
Mostly off of our most recent EP.
What's been the reception to that so far?
It's been fantastic. We decided to make this an EP and not a record because we thought that it wasn't entirely focused enough to be a full record, because a lot of the songs have different energies to them, which as artists we like, but I can see how when you make an album you really want to make that like an official statement where you have a very focused message, very focused sound, and this group of songs we liked, but I didn't think that it had that that energy of like a really cohesive work. So this is like a sampler of a lot of the things that Uncured has done and can do. And then the next record is going to be us making an official statement, like this is who we are, this is what we sound like. and you better like it,
Okay, so you got Incarceration Fest next weekend, and depending on when you watch us, what else do you have going on the rest of 2023?
Well, we do have a couple like shows here and there in like Pennsylvania, like with Head PE is one of them. That's like in a place that we just played on our last tour, so they wanted to have us back. And we are planning for a tour this fall, like sometime in October or something like that.
Well, we also have about 15 shows booked with a pretty big act for this fall, but I don't think we can say that yet.
Yeah, I don't think it's still, things in the works. It's looking like we should have a good US North America tour in the fall, and we're going to try to add in as many things as we can.
Okay, awesome. I always like to kind of wrap things up by asking the bands, do you have any tips, tricks, any advice you would give to maybe a band just starting out or a band looking to move to the next step? Because any advice is good advice.
Yeah. I'd say the most important thing is to surround yourself with like-minded people, ideally that are better at it than you are. And then, if you hang out with 4 people, you'll become the 5th. You ever heard that kind of quote? Like, that's very true. So, it sounds like an Instagram grind set post, but elevate your circle as much as you can.
Literally, yes. Anything else?
I would say you also can't get discouraged because it takes time, and you might think like, oh, tons of bands just like blow up out of nowhere. But for the most part, like 99.999% of everyone has to, just work at it every day for years, because you're not going to blow up and get lucky, but you will be successful if you put in the work over a long period of time.
I mean, you won't necessarily be successful, but if you are putting in consistent work, you can guarantee growth. So that's
right.
That's kind of what you have to aim for.
Okay. Solid advice. Anything you want to say to fans as we wrap things up?
Yes. So the most helpful thing is please stream us Uncured on Spotify and check out our music video for Fight This War on YouTube. And please follow Uncured Band on Instagram and Facebook.
Rex, Zach, appreciate a minute of your time here today. Looking forward to seeing you at Incarceration Fest. Hopefully I can shake your hands, meet you, do whatever, that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
On Saturday?
Yeah, I'll be there every day.
All right, perfect.
We'll see you at the reformatory stage.
Of course. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for hopping on. I'll talk to you guys later, all right?
All right, thank you so much. It was nice talking.
Hey, nice talking to you. Nice meeting you. Have a good one.
All right, take care.
All right, so that was Rex. That was Zach from the band Uncured. Super excited to check these guys out at Incarceration Fest 2023 in Mansfield, Ohio. Plenty of other bands on this festival I'm excited to see. Pantera, Slipknot. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. But it's going to be a fun time regardless. If you're going, say hi. I'll say hi back. Hope you have a good time. And hey, thanks for checking out this episode of the podcast.